Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Anita Wong. I'm a board-certified emergency physician and a fellow in anti-aging metabolic functional medicine. I'm practicing preventative medicine, preventative aesthetics, focusing on your resilient immune system, restoring energy, better intimacy, stronger core, anti-leaking, and anti-sagging to improve quality of life with optimal health and vitality to the end. And today I wanted us to talk about was Alzheimer's. So Alzheimer's is really devastating for family and the patient, obviously early on. Later on, they don't really care because they can't remember who they are. That's why it's so devastating. It's a form of dementia with the inability to think clearly, to perform everyday tasks, and ultimately, they can't remember who they are. So I think in 2016, there's some breakthroughs, some studies that really shows that I think that, with epigenetics and our lifestyle, the free radicals that causes damage, the inability to process glucose properly, vitamin deficiency, or just environmental toxins. So if we can just improve the functionality of our body, treat it better, and do simple things. So one of the simple things is just use food as medicine. Hippocrates knew that. Right? So food totally matters. You know the importance of how food is to heal the body, and they had showed one of the studies. I think this was um, you know uh, uh, by UCLA. They actually showed in the Journal of Geriatrics Psychiatry that Mediterranean diet is helpful, and a Mediterranean diet is loaded with anti-inflammatory foods. I mean, it's plant-based. You have leafy greens, not only just your leafy greens, but eggplants, cauliflowers, artichokes, tomatoes, fennel, nuts and seeds, legumes, beans, chickpeas are great, oregano, rosemary, parsley, whole grains, and then wild-caught fish, goat milk, kefir, red meat maybe once a week, red wine, fresh water, coffee, a little bit of tea, and some of these things, healthy fats with emphasis on fresh fruits, right? The lean meats, olive oil is a big one. So are protective. It keeps the brain from developing the toxic plaques and the tangle developed. And these are the beta amyloid and the spaces between the nerves and nerve cells in the brain, creating this tangle of mess in the brain and affecting the function. So just and then even just having a healthy lifestyle also factors in, because as aging, if you're not being active, your brain shrinks. And you don't want to have that shrinkage and atrophy. And the more it's atrophy and shrinking, and then you have all of these plaques that are amyloid plaques, you just develop the Alzheimer's. So they've also shown, so just an anti-inflammatory diet, and just sometimes just stressing, like I've always talked about, having just a little bit of stress is helpful. So being ketogenic kind of is helpful. There's a little bit of stress that helps mitochondria's work. I always say that mitochondria is the fountain of youth. Get your mitochondria working optimally and doing its jobs. It really can help you. So, the right fuel, which is food that is clean. There's no additives, no preservatives, not processed. All of that can really help your brain function better and prevent those amyloid plaques. So if you have family history of that, you want to make sure that you're not laying down those amyloid plaques. You want to make sure that you're not have glucose that is high, especially your fasting. You want it around 75. You don't want your A1C to be elevated. You want it around less than 1.5. Right? When your glucose is not working, when you're not metabolizing it well, getting sticky things in there. So you want it to just your body to function better and get that mitochondria working better. And you want to clean things out. You have to detoxify. So if your liver doesn't process things well, and we break down metabolites, so 80% of things that we have to clear out has to go through methylation, which is a different topic. And another one, about 10% has to be cleared out by glutathione, which is another topic. The one I wanted to mention is about 10% of our things need to be cleaned out by just excreting it. So either by breathing, by sweating, by urinating, and then the other one is, defecating, right? So when you do that, and if you're constipated and you're not going more frequently, and you have a history of Alzheimer's, and you're not eating clean, and you're pre-diabetic, and you're drinking sugary drinks, and eating processed foods and fast foods, and more constipated, guess what? You're set up for Alzheimer's. So if that hits home with anyone, change your habit, get motivated, right? Eat cleaner, eat whole foods, clean foods, greens. So the Mediterranean diet, make sure you're eliminating, get more fibers, get that transient time to work faster, which means getting more bulk, more fiber. You wanted to eat the legumes are really good for that. Insoluble fiber, which is the legumes, and then having all the leafy greens and all your vegetables. So you need to make sure that that's flowing, especially if you have that history. We're talking about Alzheimer's right now, which is also going to be for Parkinson's, dementia, on any of those, because it's neuroinflammatory. So that's one. The other thing that's really good to prevent is exercise. So to prevent it, another is also UCLA did this study that shows that just this protective properties of exercise. They have found that maybe HIITs may be a little bit better, but HIITs is better. Actually, I take that back. HIITs is better for melting fat, maybe faster, but a steady state cardio that also works. So what lifting weights, using weights, and doing that steady state and get a cardio workout. So however you get it, if you like doing HIITs, if you like dancing, you just need to move because what's it called? NEATS. It's non-exercise activity, study or some T or something, therapy maybe. Basically, the more non-exercise activity, we do more of those. And so just tapping, be jittery, moving, that you actually expend more calories as exercising and movement, but you want to get your heart rate up. So exercise is key. So just moving, cleaning, gardening, walking, anything, just move that body. And if you're already one of those who have a high NEATS activity and you have a family history of Alzheimer's and you're not eliminating well, increase that cardio activity, increase that elimination, and eat cleaner, right? Another one that is your profession. So what profession do you have? Are you one of those that likes to be in an isolated room, have a quiet Zen, work by yourself? Those are going to be not as good for the brain. So you want to have things, because we're social animals. So having a social work environment, being around with people. The scientists did this study. It was at one of the Alzheimer's institutes. I think it was in Washington. And they took about 240 brain scans, I believe, and looked at these brain scans, and they put them into different categories. And they found that those who were isolated workers, their brains, they weren't doing as well as, example, teachers. That's a very social, interactive activity, right? Where is teaching. So having your profession where you have camaraderie, co-workers, working with people, having collaborative work is much better for the brain. The other thing is studies have shown is medications can be a cause. So one of those that has been is something very common people use. They use it for sleep. They use it for allergies. It's diphenhydramine or Benadryl, that type, or even for motion sickness, hydromenate, sorry. And a combination of those with ibuprofen can cause, the diphenhydramine is anticholinergic properties, and that is linked to dementia. And that study was published in JAMA in Neurology back in 2016. So you want to be careful about taking too much pain medications, or those inflammation of ibuprofen, and your allergy, and if you're using it for sleep. So can lead to problems with neural inflammation, neural toxicity, causing damage to your brain, causing dementia or Alzheimer's. Also, some of the antidepressants, some COPD and asthma medications, and overactive bladder medications, because these are all in the in the anticholinergic categories, which creates problems. Another big thing to protect is your gut. So I always talk to the gut. 90% of our illnesses are coming from the gut. It's also 70 to 80% of our immune system, protecting us from the environment and keeping us healthy. If you are not protecting the gut and your microbiome, it's linked to the brain. We talk about the gut as if sometimes it's a second brain. So how you treat your gut and how healthy it is very protective to the brain. So making sure that you have all the right good bacteria in your gut, having it balanced and functioning well, very key on having Alzheimer's. So gut function, eliminating properly, eliminating frequently, having the right microbiome, having it healthy helps. So if you're eating a lot of processed food and there are no fiber and no greens and no vegetables and no plant-based, that's an issue for Alzheimer's. Sleep also, though I like to sleep on my back because I'm very concerned about the loss of collagen and losing getting some wrinkles, but they really say that sleeping on your side, I'm not really sure which side, but or if it makes a difference, but helps with the brain because when we're sleeping, it's detoxifying and cleansing and cleaning out the waste of processing and lowering your neurological disease. So bottom line is eating clean. Oh, alcohol is one. Alcohol can cause alcohol-related dementia. So you want to limit that and, not overindulge. Tap water. Tap water is not necessarily clean because they allow certain amount of toxins in there. So you want clean. Sugar, refined grains. As I've talked before, packaged foods, that's processed foods, but packaged foods and aluminum, additives and pesticides in your food, these are all neurotoxic. So make sure clean water, clean food, moderation alcohol, limit the sugar, limit the refined things, and packaged foods you don't want. So what do you do? That if you want to take extra supplements or what to eat, you want to make sure you have fish oil, about 1,000 milligrams a day, vitamin D, about 500,000 daily, CoQ10, about 200 milligrams daily, ginkgo is good, 120 milligrams daily, phosphatidylserine, 300 milligrams daily, astaxanthin, which 2 to 4 grams twice a day. Essential oil that may be good is frankincense essence oil, 2 drops twice a day, and rosemary oil, 2 drops daily. So these are just my general tips to keep you healthy, keeps that Alzheimer's away, and that's it for today. If you find this information helpful, please like it, share it, and pass it on. Let me know if you have any interest or anything that you would like to hear. Always consult your doctor before you make any changes, and I'm happy to work collaboratively with your doctor. Just think of me as a specialty in optimizing your health, and I can be reached by my website at anitawangmd.com or 949-734-0580. And you can schedule a complimentary discovery call with me. Till next time, be safe and be well and make good choices.